Good morning. It's not the best of mornings, but I need to get on with this car. So I was meaning to do these back brakes last week, and the Mk6 now lapsed on us. Life's just getting in the way. So the problem I'm having with this, if I can run some brakes, excuse me, you'll notice it goes up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I can get up to 8 clicks if I'm sitting in there. And even then, if I was on a hill, there would be a bit of movement. So my guess would be just needs a bit of adjustment. So in the drums, there's a little tooth wheel. It should be self-adjusting, but they don't always work. So I'm going to try adjusting those first. But whatever the problem is, the drum's got to come off, whether it's shoes, cylinders, adjuster, whatever, it's all in there. So next step, just a quick aside, while it's still on its wheels, pop this cap off, get the hub nut off. It'd be a lot easier while it's on its wheels. Okay, so I was going to pop the caps off and undo the hub nuts before the wheels come off, but I couldn't get to these caps while the wheels are on, so it's no biggie. So I'm just going to get a screwdriver in there now and lever these out, and in there, what's that, looks like a 30, yeah, it's a 30mm. So these are incredibly tight now, so I'm going to have to get, so that's slack, no, it's definitely a 30. Okay, so I'm going to get some sort of breaker bar on there now and pop these out. Okay, I don't know if I could say I actually recommend this, but I couldn't find my breaker bar, so I just stuck a series of extensions together. I mean, you know, it's not stupid if it works. So I've taken the nut off, and I didn't think this through. I should have, taken the car forward and back a bit before I started this, because this drum was a bit stuck on. But, you know, a bit of percussive maintenance around, it just freed up, no problem. So in theory, this pulls off now. I've chucked the front wheels, taken the handbrake off. Now I should be able to just go around it. I've never actually done one of these cars before, so it shouldn't be much different though. So I'm going to find something that fits in by there and just lever around until it pops off. So this is actually a couple of days later, which you could probably tell by the, oh goodness, I was going to say by the rust, but the fact is this seized up again. But yeah, rain stopped play the other day, and I also couldn't get a hub off easily. It was just spinning nicely, but it should have just pulled off. But usually I just use a screwdriver, but it was bending the backing plate too much. And so got my hub puller, but it's the type that grips from behind and then pushes on the hub. So obviously with this backing plate slipping over the drum, that's not going to work. So I've gone and bought this style one, which I thought I had, but couldn't find one. So that bolts on there, and then that pushes on the shaft and then pulls the drum off. So I'm going to do this next, and first of all, I think I'm going to get my hammer out and free this up again. And then she is all free. I thought I'd spare you all the hammering. So this, I'll bolt on there using the wheel nuts. was a bit of a fight. And yeah, it's not looking great. I did scratch it a little bit. Not too concerned about that, but I don't think that's legal. Well, it's not legal, but it's not going to be doing me any good. Yeah, it's quite a bit more on that side. You know, the leading edges I was weighed down more anyway. So and is that? Can't tell if that's leaking or whether that's grease. So I think, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to get new shoes. I think I'll probably replace both cylinders as well. It's looking a bit manky. So if it's not leaking now, it looks like it might have leaked at some point. I don't know. But what do you need doing? So it's been another couple of days. I've had to go and buy some new brake shoes. I'm not replacing the cylinders. I'm just going to clean them up and see how they go. So I'm going to give everything a good clean with brake cleaner now, and then change these shoes over. It's just easier to clean all the springs and everything while it's in situ. And of course I don't care about wrecking the friction material because they're getting changed. So that's everything all cleaned up, ready for everything to go back on. And just looking at the shoes, I probably could have got away with these a bit longer. So if I just measure the thickness of the friction material, 2 mil. Yeah, they were getting down to the limit anyway, so I'm okay with that. And the drum itself is pretty good. Did have a bit of a lip on the edge, so I've taken that off just to make it easier to put back on. Being very careful, you know, go a bit of a 45-degree angle, stay well away from the friction material inside. So cleaned out, ready to go, and check the bearings, they're good. So now we're ready for the new shoes to go back on. Just out of interest, you get about over 4 mil. Nice. So that's for the other side. This one goes on there. It's the hardest part, figuring out where everything goes. And that's that side, okay. So I need to get the adjuster on here. Right, I'm going to check footage and make sure I got this adjuster the right way around. Yeah, just checked on it. That does go that way. So, where should I start? I think I'll start in the cable one. And double check. The handbrake's actually off. Then what I'll do now is put these pins in, hold them in place, and then I'll do the springs last. So that's those pins in, got the clips on and got the adjuster in, and wow, that was a lot harder than it needed to be. So I'm going to double check now, but I think, yeah, that spring goes off there and somehow stretches all the way over to there. And I think this spring goes in, if I can get off my glove, into these bottom holes. So I'm just going to double check that quick and get those on. Alright, apologies for the big jump there, but I didn't think you needed 20 minutes of me sweating, breathing heavy and swearing. That was an absolute nightmare. This spring wasn't too bad, the bottom one. The top one is under quite a bit of pressure, so bit of tension rather. So I ended up taking this back off this side, so I could get the spring and the tensioner in. Well, first of all I did the spring, put it all together and then forgot the tensioner, so I had to take it back off again. And that's not counting the number of times this has gone pinging, flying. So, yep, let it go. So I took this off, put the spring in, the tensioner, then put that back on. So now, this should be the last bit. So, my favourite trick is to use a thin screwdriver, get that in a hole and pull it across, and then use another one to push that down into place. This way it does increase the risk of it going flying, but I found it my favourite method when it works. And of course it's not working now I'm filming. I'll be back with you. So that's everything back together. I've taken the cap off the brake reservoir because I had to push these in on the cylinder, so you know, because the shoes are bigger. So that's in, and you know, I've cleaned the bleed nibble on the back ready, and I will soak it in WD-40, so ready to bleed that. So what was next? Yeah, I had to adjust the adjuster. So that turns, if you're looking from the back, it's clockwise, and that'll splay out, and I just did it bit by bit until I was satisfied. I'll put you in the tripod. So I just kept adjusting it and try and drum on until I felt that was a snug fit. So yeah, I'm happy that's all done now apart from the bleeding. So I just gotta put the hub nut back on and find out what the torque setting is for that. Well, after a quick Google to find out the torque settings, I'm none the wiser. People on the internet saying everything between 90 and 275. That's Newton meters. Looked on Haynes, they were recommending, I think it was like 235. As it is, don't know if you can see on there, but the highest my torque setting goes up to, my torque wrench goes up to, is 210. So I can squeeze it up to 222. I think that's close enough. There's a lot of garages recommending 140. So and the other thing is use a new hub nut. This one literally fell apart. It's like 4 nuts all together in this cage, and yeah, literally fell apart while I was putting it back on. So luckily I got some knocking about in the garage, so I popped that on. Doesn't look like it's on all the way, but it's really deep nut, so it really is torqued up. So it's snug and quiet. So once that's bled up, I'm happy it's ready for M&T. So I'm going to do the other side now. Well, I probably won't do it now, I'm knackered. So I'll probably do the other side tomorrow, and as long as there's no nasties popping up, I think it's all done. I think we're all done. So I've been going back and forth adjusting the handbrake, trying to get in nice and snug. I think that should be the last time. Yeah, that's much better. So we got 1, 2, 3, just about stretched to 4. That's perfect. So when I adjusted up this hub, I have done this quite snug. So, well, you can turn it with, the handbrake's on now. But it was rubbing a little bit. But once I bed in, I'll be perfect. So what I might do, I don't think I adjusted this side up that tight. So I think I will pop this back off camera. Do this the same as the other side. And something I remembered was can't see it from here, but where the back box joins onto the exhaust, it's blowing a bit from the joint, so I need to pop that off and put some exhaust paste in it. But otherwise, I think we're all done. Yeah, let me just pop that off. Yeah, so it's rubbing a bit. I haven't put the hub nut back on yet, but it is rubbing a little bit. But like I said, once the bed's in, that'll be grand.